We're serious when we say canned corned beef can be transformed into countless tasty creations, ranging from quick savory bites and satisfying morning meals to flavorful, spice-packed recipes inspired by cuisines worldwide. For this roundup of corned beef ideas, we reached out to a couple of food pros: Jessica Nerthling, Associate Manager of Public Relations and Digital Media at B&G Foods, Inc., and Jason Hron, Foods Brand Manager for Retail Marketing and Convenient Meals and Protein at Hormel. First on the list is a timeless deli favorite. While traditional Reuben sandwiches usually call for fresh corned beef, there's no reason you can't whip one up at home using canned corned beef. You might even discover you prefer it, since the flavors blend beautifully. Go ahead and stir in some Thousand Island dressing along with a touch of horseradish. For the authentic experience, grab rye bread, sauerkraut, and Swiss cheese. To elevate it further, toast the sandwich in a skillet with melted butter. And really, any Reuben recipe can be adapted simply by swapping fresh corned beef for the canned variety. Another tasty twist is turning canned corned beef into sloppy joes. You can even take it up a notch and make a homemade version. Simply swap in canned corned beef for the usual ground beef, then cook it with sautéed onions, peppers, and garlic, along with tomato sauce, ketchup, Worcestershire sauce, and a touch of brown sugar. Season with onion powder, garlic powder, salt, and pepper. Then pile the mixture onto buns or slices of bread.
I made them extra sloppy for you!
You can also make corned beef sloppy joes using a powdered mix. Simply follow the package instructions with the powder and tomato paste, swapping in canned corned beef in place of cooked ground beef. One popular Filipino dish is a corned beef hash made with potatoes, garlic, onions, tomatoes, and rice, known as silog. The corned beef version goes by the name corn silog. Many corn silog recipes include a fried egg, either on top or on the side. Some cooks even add shredded cabbage to the mix. Everything is sautéed together in a skillet and served over rice. Plain rice works well, but garlic rice takes it up a notch. If you'd rather not cook the tomatoes with the hash, you can simply serve them sliced on the side. Corned beef pairs wonderfully with Mexican flavors, making it a great substitute for the usual taco or burrito meat. There are a few ways to prepare it. One approach is to toss the corned beef in a skillet with a couple of tablespoons of tomato sauce and your favorite taco seasoning. Another method is to sauté it in olive oil along with diced tomatoes, onions, jalapenos, and spices like cumin, oregano, garlic, and cilantro. For a breakfast twist, crack an egg into the skillet and cook it with the rest of the ingredients. Serve the mixture in taco shells or wrapped in a flour tortilla for a burrito. Popular toppings include lettuce, tomatoes, shredded cheese, sour cream, guacamole, and salsa.
What I love about tacos?
What's that? Everything?
Corned beef and cabbage are often enjoyed either together or side by side. You can elevate canned corned beef with a splash of Worcestershire sauce, spices like paprika and thyme, and fresh herbs such as parsley and dill. Another way to boost flavor is to sauté the cabbage with a couple of tablespoons of Worcestershire sauce. And for extra tang, add 2 or 3 tablespoons of vinegar. Season with garlic, caraway seeds, and Italian herbs before mixing it into the warm corned beef. Worcestershire sauce also works wonders in classic corned beef hash. Cook the canned beef with the sauce, along with diced potatoes, onions, caraway seeds, salt, and pepper. Grainy mustard adds a nice kick, and you can top it all off with a fried egg, and even a drizzle of brown sauce if you like. A creative way to elevate canned corned beef for breakfast is to transform it into shakshuka by adding eggs, tomatoes, and spices. Essentially, you just incorporate the corned beef into a standard shakshuka recipe. For a simple corned beef shakshuka, start by sautéing the meat with onions and bell peppers in olive oil in an oven-safe skillet. Add spices and crushed tomatoes, then create little wells in the sauce for the eggs. You can also mix in crumbled feta or cooked potatoes for added flavor, texture, and nutrition. Bake the skillet in the oven at 400 degrees Fahrenheit for about 10 minutes to set the eggs. Common spices to use include garlic, cumin, paprika, red pepper flakes, caraway, and a pinch of nutmeg. For a spicier version, try adding diced jalapenos or chipotles in adobo sauce. Because potatoes pair so naturally with canned corned beef, it's easy to see how they'd work in potato salad. Choose a version that complements the savory meat. Dill pickle, mayo, sour cream, or Dijon mustard-based potato salads all pair beautifully. Adding extra fresh dill helps bring the flavors together. Another tasty option is Irish-style potato salad. Along with canned corned beef, cooked potato cubes, and mayo, this version often includes tangy ingredients like vinegar, dill pickle relish, green onions, chopped cabbage, and radishes. You can also mix in celery seed and additional dill to enhance the flavor even further.
Show me potato salad.
Canned corned beef works perfectly as the protein in any stir-fry. To improvise, simply toss the beef into a hot wok with your favorite vegetables. Think green onions, bell peppers, broccoli, napa cabbage, or mushrooms. Add a flavorful sauce and serve everything over rice. If you'd like to make your own stir-fry sauce, try combining beef stock, red wine vinegar, sugar, soy sauce, chili garlic sauce, and a bit of cornstarch to thicken. Top the finished dish with fresh cilantro, toasted sesame seeds, or an extra drizzle of chili garlic sauce for a punch of flavor. Another way to upgrade canned corned beef is by turning it into fried rice, creating a more satisfying meal. Start by seasoning the beef with fresh garlic and ginger, then cook it on the stove with chopped onions and mixed vegetables. Next, either stir in pre-scrambled eggs or push the ingredients aside and lightly scramble 2 eggs before adding leftover cooked rice to the pan. Mix everything together with a splash of soy sauce, or a richer blend of soy sauce, brown sugar, and rice wine vinegar. For a quicker version, toss the corned beef with leftover restaurant fried rice, or use frozen fried rice from the grocery store and heat it all together in a skillet. Think about pairing canned corned beef with noodles, tomatoes, and a rich cheese for a hearty meal. You can take this idea in 2 directions, Italian or Filipino. For the Italian-style version, simmer the corned beef in spaghetti sauce and serve it over cooked spaghetti, finished with a sprinkle of grated Parmesan. You can also make a homemade sauce by sautéing onions and garlic with the beef, then adding peeled, blanched tomatoes, tomato paste, and fresh basil. For extra depth, cook your noodles in chicken broth or water seasoned with chicken bouillon. The Filipino-style version offers a sweet, savory twist using banana ketchup, combined with tomato paste, tomato sauce, soy sauce, sugar, and black pepper. Serve over noodles and top with shredded or grated cheese for a comforting finish. You can mix corned beef into mac and cheese using the boxed variety, but for a more elevated take, make it from scratch or transform it into a baked casserole.
Bless this highly nutritious microwavable macaroni and cheese dinner and the people who sold it on sale. Amen.
To incorporate it into a homemade version, mix the corned beef with some Mornay sauce. Then follow a typical baked mac and cheese recipe for the rest of the ingredients. For extra flavor, sauté diced onions with the meat first and stir in a can of cream of mushroom soup before baking. You can also make a stovetop version of this dish. To elevate it further, add a can of cream of chicken soup and minced onions, then top with buttery crushed cracker crumbs for a crispy finish. Mixing corned beef into cornbread muffins is a fun way to get a spicy, cheesy twist. If you're using a full can of corned beef, start with 2 boxes of cornbread mix. Prepare the muffins according to the package instructions, then stir the corned beef into the wet ingredients, like milk. Kick up the flavor by adding diced jalapenos and shredded cheddar cheese. Once everything is combined, bake as directed. Another approach is a layered muffin. Grease a muffin tin and spoon in a couple of tablespoons of corned beef. Make a small well in the center and crack an egg into it, lightly seasoning with salt and pepper. Pour the prepared cornbread mix on top to fill the cups and bake according to the package directions. Sweet potatoes and other vegetables make a delicious addition to corned beef, whether in hash or baked dishes. To make a hash, start by boiling or baking cubed sweet potatoes. Then toss them in a skillet with the corned beef and other vegetables like onions, peppers, or cooked beets. Another option is to combine mashed sweet potatoes in a lightly oiled skillet with sautéed onions, zucchini, corned beef, hash browns, and cheese. For a breakfast-friendly version, create little wells in the hash and crack eggs into them, cooking until set. Corned beef hash also works well stuffed into baked sweet potatoes. Bake the potatoes, scoop out the insides, and mix the fluffy flesh with corned beef, sautéed kale, green onions, and shredded cheese. Refill the potatoes with the mixture and heat them again in the oven for a hearty meal. Another fun way to use corned beef is by turning it into a crowd-pleasing party dip.
My name is Rod, and I like to party.
For a bold, flavorful cold dip, mix a can of crumbled corned beef with diced onion, mayonnaise, sour cream, fresh parsley, and either dried or fresh dill. For an even simpler option, combine the meat with a packet of onion soup mix and a carton of sour cream. A hot, baked version blends corned beef with cream cheese, sour cream, chopped bell peppers, scallions, Worcestershire sauce, onion salt, horseradish, hot sauce, and chopped pecans. Another tasty take combines the meat with sautéed onions, cream cheese, sour cream, mayonnaise, Swiss cheese, and garlic powder, especially delicious when served in a bread bowl. Corned beef can even be turned into meatballs. You can either blend it with ground beef or use it on its own, then fry or bake them following your favorite meatball recipe. Serve them like traditional meatballs or alongside cooked cabbage. For a mixed version, combine a can of corned beef with half a pound of ground beef. Add a beaten egg, breadcrumbs, spicy brown mustard, and seasonings like garlic powder or any others you prefer. A meatball made solely from corned beef can include chopped cabbage, eggs, flour, and whole grain mustard for extra flavor and structure. Finally, corned beef can be a tasty addition to your favorite soups or stews. You might go with a creamy mushroom or vegetable soup, or a meat-packed stew to make it even heartier. One easy homemade option is a simple soup with shredded cabbage, corn, garlic powder, butter, water, salt, and pepper. Let it simmer for about an hour. Then serve with sour cream and crusty bread. For a more substantial stew, combine canned corned beef with sautéed onions, beef stock, carrots, and potatoes. During the last 10 minutes of cooking, add cauliflower, a splash of apple cider vinegar, salt, and pepper, and finish by thickening with a bit of cornstarch.